I just squeeze. Farmer asks, is this cob nearly ready for harvest? Firstly, let's have a look at the cob and get my first impressions of it. My first impressions of this cob are very good. For example, the entirety of the cob is covered by this sheath. Now, sometimes you might get snouting, whereby some of the grain sites of the cob will come up through the top of the sheath. But on this cob, that's not happening. So the entirety of the cob is protected, which is a really good trait to have in a maize variety. Before I break open the cob, I can get an idea of how long it's going to be before harvest by just having a look at the silks. Now the silks are these right here, and they're still quite light and sticky in the center of them. Usually if it's at harvest point, these will have dried out and they'll be pressed up against the sheath of the cob. But these are still sticky and they're a little bit moist. So now let's break into the cob. First impression of the cob is that it's okay, it's a little way off. These grain sites are for the most part filled except for the tip, which is a little bit disappointing, but they're quite pale still. Now when the cobs are ready for harvest, these grain sites will be very glossy and very yellow, a golden colour, but these are still quite pale. And if we break it apart and I just squeeze that, we accidentally just covered the camera in there, so I had to cut it out early. But essentially, if I squeeze this grain site, it's still very wet and very milky. So this is a way off yet. I reckon with the amount of sunshine that we're likely to get over the next few weeks, this will probably be mature by the first week in September, but it's not going to be ready in August. So the farmer can rest easy and not get too worried about having to get on the forager and get this maize off. I'm going to have to get this mess cleaned up before my fiancée gets home, or she's going to have my balls.